THEMOSHOW, Chicago. That's right, and we are back again on another fantastic sucker-free Sunday. And it just happens to be 420 and Easter. Amazing, you all. So while you're out there today or tonight, and if you see a bunny that's getting stoned, make sure you give him a bag of carrots. Tell him I said what's up and ha 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 ha. I'm just saying. 420, you all, we are back in the building tonight on a fantastic LIVE on THEMOSHOW, Chicago. Yeah. Today in Chicago it's been like 71 degrees, cloudy. Parts of the city rained a little bit. Parts of it didn't. You know how you walk across the street and you have rain over there and you look across the street or walk across the street and there's no rain? Well, that's what happened here in Chicago today. And there's a lot of other things going on in Chicago, like killings, like murders, like carjackings, like Brandon Johnson not being reelected. Hey, what can I say? I mean, like, sometimes you get tired of just like, bringing what's happening every day in the city, the news, and it's always bad. It's nothing good. Very seldom is there something good. If you look at the majority of news like I look at, how much good do you see in the news? That tells you the type of world we living in. I'm just 420, you all. So if you haven't got your smoke on, I'm sorry, get your smoke on. Because some of you all getting your smoke on after you left church today, okay? Yeah, I know you did. It's 420 all day. And speaking of 420, how many of you all even know where 420 even started? Or how it even came about? Many people don't know. They can't tell you at all. But just to give you a brief history or a little knowledge of, 420, it started with Dave Riddicks. Some people say Reddicks, okay? Reddicks, tomato, okay? But he was a member of the band called the Waldos. And they were in Oakland, California on December 20th, 1990. And there was flyers circulating around the city about the band. These deadheads were promoting the Waldos. And they had these flyers, and everybody said, on the flyer it said smoke at 420. Smoke at 420, on 420, because the Waldos were there. And Dave Riddicks just happened to be really like a sidekick of the Grateful Dead, okay? The Grateful Dead, which was established in Palo Alto, California, Northern California, just as the Waldos were established or formed, or they are from Northern California. Now, if you want to go into further research, you can do that online. But if you go to the bank where the documentary footage is held or is on paper, however you want to view it, because I don't know personally, because I've never been to that bank at 420 Montgomery Street in San Francisco, because that's where the documentary is. I don't know if it's footage or if it's, typed, okay? Needless to say, that's where you can find it at 420 Montgomery Street in San Francisco, California, at the bank. Yeah, 420. Just to give you all a quick update, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't know about 420 or if you didn't know about where it formed, I'm telling you where it was formed. Northern California, Oakland, the Waldos. Yeah, look up the Waldos band, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, if it wasn't for Dave Riddicks, that became like a groupie and a sidekick of the Grateful Dead, maybe you would not have seen 420. But however, that flyer did get into the hands of a journalist, and it put it out in the newspaper and everything in Oakland, California, and bang, 420. I'm just saying. Keep that under your hat, you all, while you toke all day, okay? Like I said, we got that smoke over here. 420. We got that smoke, meaning footage, meaning historical facts, meaning something that can resonate in your soul, something that you can feel, something that will make you feel alive again. Because I swear it is hard breathing life into a dead man. But we got more 420 coming up for you because we got that smoke. We got that smoke. I got maybe like, I've been pre-production on 5 different videos, okay? Pre-production already done. I just have to add a couple of things to it and, you know, spice it out, so to say. But we got that smoke on 420 here on THEMOSHOW Chicago on YOUTUBE. Who's there in the chat? Hey, what's going on? How you doing out there? What city and state you from? Me? I am from the concrete jungle. Yeah, city of the gangsters, Chirac, Chi-Town, Windy City, whatever you want to call it. It's a whole bunch of names for the city in which I'm from. And I tell you, Chicago is no J-O-K-E. It's not. Chicago's no joke. But I tell you, a lot of people have been a little bit friendly. They've been... Hey, you'll be amazed at what 420 does to people. Yeah. They really like label it as a holiday. But it all started from a band. Happy 420, you all. Easter? What about Easter, you all? What do you know about Easter? What do you know about Dionysus or Dionysus? Yeah, you know, the Greek god, or Bacchus. You know, Ishtar. You know, what do you know about that? What do you know about, you know, the egg of Easter basket that comes in it? What it represents, the tomb of Jesus. I'm going to get on Jesus in a minute, I swear to you. But anyway, right? What do you all know about Easter? And if you can count like I can count, because I think I can count pretty good, you know. I am a former educator of math and science, okay? They want to give me a shot at history, I'm telling you. No, they like, keep his ass out of here, okay? But anyway, dealing with math and Easter, okay? Now, 2 days ago, they just had a Good Friday. 2 days ago, not 3 days ago. They say Jesus resurrected on the 3rd day, but if you count from Friday to Sunday, that's 2 days. And I don't care what year you're in, because the day changes depending on the first moon of the equinox. Okay, that's what they tell you, okay? But it's not about Jesus, it's about fertility. It's about fertility. That's why you have the eggs, okay? Have you heard the expression, you know, they're over there, you know, fucking like rabbits. Because rabbits always, yeah, reproducing themselves. Reproducing themselves so that fertilization can take place. But Jesus, we'll get to him with Easter. But Easter doesn't have anything to do with no bunny and no egg. It does not. In fact about it, Easter is a form, or was a form, of Mardi Gras, because the god of fertility, or the god that Easter represents, is supposed to be about fertility, but Dionysus is not the god of fertility, but he's the god of, or is known as, Bacchus. Yeah, the god that you see, the Greek god that you see with the grapes, you know, half naked, running around with, you know, yeah, a shawl, as they would say, a shawl. But Bacchus is the father of Easter, where back in the day in Greek land, you had all of these sexual parties. It's like really a Mardi Gras. And it was all about repopulation, sex, and fertility. Easter has nothing to do with Jesus. Nothing at all. Has nothing to do with no resurrection or nothing like that. You can Google all you want to. But when you understand the real meaning of Easter, well, you understand the concept. When we were children, when I used to go to church, when I was a child, because my mother and my grandmother made me go to church, you know what I'm saying? But we were always ready for an Easter basket. And in the Easter basket, it was nothing but chocolates. There was no real egg to be found. In fact about it, when I was a child, I didn't even know what Easter meant or what it represented. I didn't. It was just about some bunny and some Easter eggs. When you are a child, you don't think about that stuff. You just go along with the program. Grandma and mama is, spoiling you for the day, getting you a new suit. Why is my mother giving me a new suit? More money for the economy. Why is my mama, getting all these Easter baskets? More money for the economy. And not in your pocket. I'm just saying. What's that? Who else we got out there? What city and state you from? Huh? Yeah, it's M.O. We from the concrete jungle. Talking about 420. Talking about Easter. Talking about Jesus and family. And right now, we just stuck on Easter right now. We'll get to the Jesus and the family in a minute. But this Easter thing, can you count? Who gave you that anyway? Who gave you Easter? Who told you about Easter? Who did that? I mean, if you believe in Easter, you have to be a Christian. I'm just saying. You have to be a Christian. I don't know no Catholics, really. Catholics, they Jews, And the Jews wrote the Bible, by the way. And they don't believe in Jesus. They don't believe in Easter. I'm just saying, who gave you that information? Who gave you the information on Easter? When you look up Bacchus and you look up Dionysus, the Greek gods, maybe you can understand a little bit more about Easter. But if you do the math, like I said, I'm not the smartest person in space. But I know 3 days versus 2 days. And like I said, it can always go from 1 month to the next month. But if that's your birthday, is your birthday the same month? Or is your birthday on the following month of the next year? Like Easter is. It's all rituals. It's all paganism. It's all fake. You know how they say in the book of Jeremiah that don't follow the ways of the pagans? Easter is a paganism or paganistic holiday. That's 100. You don't have to believe me. Go check for yourself. Okay? Just like I've been trying to tell people about Jesus and how they should check information on Jesus. But you know what? They don't do that. I just heard a family member right now told me that Jesus is more important than I am. Whew. I told him, well, Jesus don't even exist. How can you believe in a God that you've never seen and hate your brother that you see every day? And it was like mumbo jumbo response to that. Blah, 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 That's what the response was like. But that's what happens when you bring real questions to the table. Yeah, a family member told me that Jesus is more important than I am in their life. That's insane. Think about that. How could you believe in a book that someone who comes from your bloodline? Now I know that Jesus was supposed to come to make division, against mother against daughter and father against son. But when you get to asking people who believe in Jesus about the Council of Nicaea, about the Council of Chalcedon, about the Council of Constantine, and about the Council of Ephesus, they can't tell you nothing. They don't even know what you're talking about. But you want to tell me about Jesus and Easter. I don't understand these people, man. I don't. Can anybody help them out there? It's just me. I mean, you got many thinkers out there, and obviously the family member that told me that Jesus was more important than me is not a thinker. They're a follower. So the next time you need some help, call Jesus. Don't call me. Call Jesus. In fact about it, call Jesus right now. Get him on the phone for me, okay? Here's my phone number. You got my phone number? Yeah, you do, family member, right? Give Jesus my phone number and tell Jesus to call me right now. Tell Jesus to call me. And when he called me, I want to meet him in person so I can smack his ass. Yeah. When you get to asking questions, when you have did some historical research for years, and you ask these people about Jesus, religion, and Easter, they have no answers for you that they can stand on. None. What does Jesus have to do with fertility? Nothing. Like I say, he don't even exist. But for those of you who think he exists, you know. Jesus don't exist. In fact about it, why Jesus ain't seen Donald Trump yet, okay? Why Jesus ain't went and talked to Donald Trump? Why Jesus hasn't fixed the economy? Why are people starving in the world? Jesus, I'm just saying. Yeah, no rehearsals, no script, no nothing. Don't need it. Wake me up in the middle of the night and start a conversation and I can get it on with you. Like I say, the supernova is coming. The supernova is coming. Your W-A-Y. Yeah, I'm about to explode, you all. On something real. I'm about to explode. But the Jesus thing, come on, it's 2025. I don't understand how family, same blood, even some people who have birthed members of the family. How can they even say that Jesus is more important than their own flesh and blood? How can Jesus be more important than your own flesh and blood? All of you Christians out there right now, is Jesus more important than your own blood? Like, not your own blood that's out there doing bad. I'm talking about your relatives that's doing good. They don't bother nobody. Law-abiding citizens. Help people. Even help you. And you mean to tell me that Jesus is more important to you than them? The world is full of followers. The world is full of people who really don't think. The most people that we have in the world are workers. They're not people who think. They are worker bees. Prime example, when you go to work, you're 9 to 5, how much do you make more for your boss than you make for yourself. But you a thinker, right? Is your boss smarter than you is? Maybe so. I'm just saying, man. Y'all think about that. How many of y'all had family members that you had to cut ties with because of religion? When they don't really understand religion, when they don't really understand politics. Anybody out there that had to cut ties with family members or friends because of politics, Republic and Democrats? I don't understand what people don't understand. That they sleep in the same bed. They worship the same master. And the goal is the same. Eventually. Think about that. You think the Democrats is for you? The Republicans are for you? Hell, Jesus is not even for you because he don't exist. The Roman Catholic Church gave you Jesus at the Council of Nicaea, 325 AD. Then from that to the Council of Constantine, the Council of Chalcedon, the Council of Ephesus. Yeah, switch the other two around. Chalcedon was the last one, okay? But you read those, councils, and maybe you too will get an understanding of Jesus. And how Jesus don't exist, how Jesus is false. How Jesus is is it Da Vinci? Yeah, it's not Michelangelo, it's Da Vinci. Okay. Yeah. Fooled the whole world. They had the government of that time behind him because they came to him. Yeah, nobody in the chat room. I don't see nobody in the chat room. But that's okay. If I reach one person today on this so-called Easter holiday or Holocaust Day, I thank you. I thank you if you're in the chat room because you could have been doing something else with someone else. But you decided to stop by to see what we had to say. Yeah. I'm still going. But you all think about that. Is family before religion or is religion before family? Is Jesus before family or is family before Jesus? Who do you choose? I choose family. I choose family. Because religion is man-made. Huh? Now, if you one of those bad, weirdo family members, stay over there by Walgreens, okay? Stay over there by Walgreens. Especially if you're not a thinker. Because some of that rust, some of that disbelief, some of that not believing in yourself, no confidence, not on your same frequency in regards to energy, the vampires of energy. Stay away from those people. Stay away from those people. If they are energy vampires. The religion thing is literature. And if they don't get that, that's on them. They still my family. I still help them and they still help me. But damn, when they tell you that Jesus is more important than family, when Jesus is more important than family, something's wrong. That tells me they haven't read. That tells me that they're brainwashed. That tells me that they're still on the plantation. I asked the family member, who gave you the book? I say the book is copyrighted. And the copyright belongs to the dude over there in England. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth's husband. Yeah, it belongs to him. It's a copyright on it. I asked him, does God need a copyright on his words or her words? Oh, there was no her involved. It was just a straight him. Even religion is sexist, but a man can have a baby. But if they God, they don't need to, right? But if that is the case, why did God need Mary to have Jesus? I mean, just common sense questions like the simple math. They can't answer it. Brainwash is what you call it. Yeah, we just freestyling. Like I said, I don't need no scripts. I try to do what I can. You know, they give me stories, I give them, you know. But I'm about to explode. I'm about to explode. Supernova time. Turn up time. Yeah. As somebody say, it's your winning season. Always is. It is your winning season. Mo. And everybody out there who believes in themselves, it is your winning season. And don't let nobody step in the way of you winning your season. Because it's yours. To be aware is to be alive. And before I get out of here, I didn't want to make it that long anyway. Just had to stop by, do a drive-by, you know, on YouTube. But I got some more stuff coming up. Like I said, we got that smoke coming up here on 420 on YOUTUBE. And if you haven't been over to my other page, MOPOWERZ here on YOUTUBE, if you're interested in traveling and getting more meat on your brain, go over to that channel. We got audiobooks over there and everything. Yes, audiobooks. And they're graphical. So go check that out. And if you're into R&B, hip-hop, spoken word, Chicago old school, rap, hip-hop, comedy, Chicago independent movies, go over to my other channel, THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space, here on YOUTUBE. If you're into relaxing, meditating, or want to be into some self-consciousness, go over to my other channel. Yeah, the fourth one. MO space vibrations with an S. Yeah, I got 4 pages on YouTube. 2 of them I'm still working on all 4 of them. But I highly recommend, and I ask you, if you want to support this channel here, like, share, and subscribe on all 4 channels. Yeah, I haven't been doing much on the 4th channel, but I'll get to that. I still got a lot of other things to rearrange, take away, add. Before I add more videos on that channel, I got about 10 channels on Mo Vibrations. MO space VIBRATIONS here on YOUTUBE. Okay? And on your way out, like I said, hit those condiments to like and to share. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your CONVERSATION, you all. Peace out and never give up on your DREAMS.